Hi, this is Quentin Langley vlogging for Brandjack News. First point to make, of course, this is the week that Steve Jobs died. Obviously made a huge contribution to technology and without contributions from leaders like Steve Jobs, brandjacking just wouldn't be possible. So obviously very sad to hear the news of his death. He's done a lot to change the culture of the world. And perhaps especially in some of the repressive regimes around the world where brandjacking is coming to the fore in dealing with some rather brutal dictators. That might be the first place to start in terms of the stories up on the site at the moment. We have a number of celebrities snuggling up to one particular nasty dictator, Ramzan Kadyrov in Chechnya. People have said in his defense that he has done a lot to rebuild Grozny, the capital of Chechnya, after the war. But that's no excuse for the brutality of his dictatorship, for his sponsorship of terrorism. And just to give one example on the human rights front, he encourages men to beat up women who are seen on the streets without a headscarf. That's by no means the whole of his human rights record. There's an awful lot else to condemn out there, but that is one example of the brutality of his regime. So why were Jean-Claude Van Damme, Vanessa-Mae and Hilary Swank out there celebrating his birthday? Kadyrov, by the way, says this wasn't his birthday. It was Grozny's city day, but it just happened to be on his birthday. So huge party, people singing happy birthday to him. Hilary Swank, Oscar-winning actor, wishing him happy birthday. Is there anything some of these people would not do for money? Is there any person so far beyond the pale that they would not participate in a party for that person? Well, the answer from the performing artist Shakira is absolutely. There are some people she wouldn't snuggle up to. And one of them is Ramzan Kadyrov. She was invited to perform at this party. Apparently she initially accepted, but when she found out about Kadyrov's human rights record, she withdrew. So kudos to her, and whatever the opposite of kudos is to Jean-Claude Van Damme, to the violinist Vanessa-Mae, and to Hilary Swank. Anti-kudos to those people. Also on the site, you'll see there's a defense of asset strippers. Labour leader in Britain, Ed Miliband, his speech was dominated to his annual conference by attacks on predatory behaviour by business, including asset strippers, as he put it. Well, asset strippers perform an important role. In any organisation, any organisational structure, excellent organisations will excel. That's what they do. Failing organisations will tend to fail. What do you do about the mediocre middle? In government organisations and in charities, NGOs, they continue to perform in a mediocre way. There is no way of challenging them externally to perform better. In the private sector, especially the publicly traded companies, that's what asset strippers do. That's what takeover bids are about. Getting an organisation to perform better, redistributing assets from one group of people towards people who can use those assets better. So I put in my word in defence of asset stripping. Also been commenting on the cyber war in Syria. All part of the Arab awakening, Arab Spring, whatever you want to call it, still going on. Hackers, brandjackers in Syria managed to take down the Ministry of Defence website in Syria, so good for them. Supporters of Bashar Assad did fight back. They actually took down for a while, brief while, the Harvard University website. So that war is moving very much into cyberspace. I have to say, in the long run, I'm pretty sure it's Assad's critics who will win on the cyber front of this particular war. Certainly, as longer the cyber war goes on, the harder it is for Assad and various other dictators, because the whole point of their regime is that they have to control all the flow of information. They have to maintain their control all of the time, whereas in the West, organisations like Harvard University just have to be able to keep their website going most of the time. In the long run, pretty sure that much of the hacking talent, the brandjacking talent, is against Assad, and they are in a much more advantageous position. Looking further back, I was commenting on the Gibson Guitars story. Gibson has been raided by the US federal government with a lot of its wood taken, but the US government will neither return the wood nor bring any actual charges against Gibson. They say they're still investigating. Surely it reaches a point where you are expected to put up or shut up. You're expected to say, have you got any evidence that this company has done something wrong? If so, bring a charge. You can't just take their stuff and hang on to it indefinitely. Well, critics are suggesting that Gibson was targeted over and above competitors because the CEO of Gibson is a prominent donor to the Republican Party, whereas the competitor has been a supporter of the Democrats. Let's hope that's not true. That's not really something that a government in a democratic republic should be doing. But really, the US government ought to say, has it got any actual evidence that Gibson Guitars has been doing anything wrong? If so, bring a prosecution, take the matter to court, and let a court decide whether Gibson's done anything wrong. Also looking a bit further back, Anders Brevik was photographed wearing a Lacoste shirt. Anders Brevik, you may recall, is the Norwegian terrorist who killed many people, both with a bomb and with a shotgun in Norway in the summer. Well, he has been photographed wearing a Lacoste shirt, and Lacoste is furious. Lacoste wants to do something about it. It's very difficult to see what they can do about it unless they pay him to not wear their shirts, in which case, presumably, he'll start wearing the shirt of some other well-known brand until they pay him to stop. All sorts of unsavoury people would be able to earn perfectly good living getting paid by brands not to wear their products. So that doesn't seem a terribly fruitful route. So bad news for Lacoste. Anders Brevik seems to like your shirts, and that's not good, but not at all clear what you can do about it. People do like to promote their products by having them associated with positive celebrities like Shakira, not like Jean-Claude Van Damme, and not like Vanessa-Mae, not like Hilary Swank. Please, if you've got a brand, don't associate it with those people because they're prepared to sell their brand values to any old dictator that comes along. But Shakira, if you want her to endorse your brand, I'm sure she would bring a lot of weight and popularity to your brand. Anders Brevik, best to avoid. This is Quentin Langley for Brandjack News.